All right, hey everybody, how are y'all doing? Look, I had to get into some lighting because I have a tan. But anyway, okay, it's in the evening, so I wanted to just speak to you briefly. I know I might be a little bit in the dark. That's okay. When it comes down to that, my topic for today. First off, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I want to talk to you all in reference to hurt people hurt people. And this is just a discussion when someone is actually hurting, right? Um, a lot of times hurt can start from when you're young, okay? And those insecurities can carry over into your adulthood, okay? I mentioned in my last catalog about OG, and a lot of people had, some of them had inboxed me. They was like, I truly agree with what you're saying. On Facebook, and then some of them had hit me up, and it was just like, I see how people just jumping on the bandwagon, but you don't know, what happened. My thing is this: you only can talk about what you see. Okay, I'm not with the people there 24/7, and at the end of the day, I'm entitled to say my opinion. I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm not beating on nobody. I'm just having a general conversation. And people are so quick to get so angry and get so defensive on other people's issues versus with dealing with theirs at home. Okay, so at the end of the day, um, only thing I'm saying when it comes down to educating people, I understand you're not required to educate a person on racism or colorism or anything in that nature. But at the same fact, when it comes down to us, our people, if you want our people to get better at colorism, get better at stop being racial to each other, getting better without, trying to call each other out our names, get better in the community, period. It starts somewhere. Somebody has to start the change. Somebody has to put it out there so it can get out there and we can start doing better. You know what I mean? Like, even with myself, I told a lot of people, I said, look, even back in the day, like females, it was a trend that females call each other bees. I never liked that, ever. So I never would call another female a bee. Now, if I was mad about something, then that word will slide. But when it comes down to the young men, you calling each other the N word, and it's like, oh, you just my nigga, you my nigga, or whatever. But that's not cool. Look how they used the word back in the day. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a word, but at the end of the day, like, if you don't want them to say it, y'all need to stop saying it. Real talk. You know what I mean? Have some respect for each other. You're not ignorant. That's what the word means. You're ignorant. You're not ignorant. Y'all smart, educated black men. You know what I mean? And people get so offensive of everything. The only thing I didn't agree with is what she said, and they caught on TV. And she said, it's not my job to educate people, but in my opinion, and I'm not saying it's her job, she's not getting paid to educate nobody. That's for all the educators. I get it. But if you want the black community to get better when it comes down to colorizing people and stuff like that, if you want the community to get better, speak up and tell people how you feel so they can know and they can do better. You know what I mean? People have kids. You have to consider your children. You have to consider your family. You got to consider everybody. And people don't understand when somebody get hurt at a young age. Like, she mentioned that she was hurt and it was a teacher that told her some garbage. You know what I mean? And look what she was able to do. She still was successful. She still was blessed. She's still beautiful. You can't listen to what people would say because the enemy wants to do nothing but belittle you and make you feel less than so you can carry that on. You know what I mean? But it hurts. You know what I mean? I done been told by a teacher, oh, you ain't gonna be nothing but a little whore or da 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 da. I done heard that before. But you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. It hurt for a second because I was like, hold on, you tripping. Because I ain't gonna be no whore. And I flipped those words for my good. And the reason why I did that is because when you apply what somebody else say to your life, it can damage you. And hurt people can't help people. When you're still hurting, you can bleed on somebody. And that's not good. You see what I'm saying? Everybody done went through, trials and tribulations and went through things and had hard times and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you have to tell people if something bother you, tell them. And even if they don't receive it, that don't mean you were right. It is people don't know how to communicate no more. It's like nobody don't want to talk, nobody don't want to communicate. Like, let somebody know how you feel. Talk to them. You know what I'm saying? But it's more like if you're a type of person that kind of selfish and you're not willing to compromise in the conversation. Like, I done had family members that I don't even talk to this day. It's probably been 7 years. I don't have no ill will against them or nothing. But at the end of the day, you're still mad because may have stated my opinion about something. And we can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, that don't mean I got to hate you for the rest of my life because we disagreed on something. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't hold grudges. I don't hold anger. I don't hold a lot of garbage. That's just something that I don't do. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody, but life is too short. You have to understand in life that everybody's not going to be able to go with you in places and go with you at all. Like, you have some people that come in your life for a season. You have some people that come in your life for a lifetime. You have someone that's come in your life just to bless you. And then you have someone that's to come in your life just to take you through a test. I mean, it is what it is. But it's nothing to hate a person for. Pray for that person and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is too short. And life doesn't stop for nobody. So I encourage you all, like, when it comes down to if you have an issue or something, the Bible tells you if you got to argue with a person, go to that person. Talk with them. Have a discussion. Let them know how you feel. And I mean, they'll listen. And if they just don't agree, they just don't agree. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be nothing to be mad about. You see what I'm saying? You're getting it off your chest, you're venting, you're talking, stuff like that. But people just feel like, oh, yeah, you did me this way, you did me that way, and I ain't gonna tell you how I feel. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. That's not gonna benefit you at all. You know what I mean? Because it could have been a misunderstanding. It's just as simple as that. It could be a misunderstanding. And people will keep enemies for a long time for no reason. When you ain't even had to be enemies. Y'all could have been just friends. You know what I mean? But hey, life it is what it is. But I just want to say that to you all. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to talk to one another. Learn how to sit down without being angry and consider the other person's feelings. And just sit down and have a conversation. It does your body good. It does your mind good. It does your soul good. Black folks have to learn how to talk. But one thing about it now, once you done did your part and they say if they refuse not to talk to you or anything like that, once you done did your part and asked, or you either, basically wrote them a letter and they may have tore it up or whatever, at the end of the day, like, hey, you did your part, you reached out. Once you done did that part, you wash your hands with it and you move on. Like, I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to be, funny acting or anything like that, but you got to move on. You got to. Because a lady spoke something over your life when you were young, you're old enough to rebuke that saying that she said. Forgive her and move on. Because that pain, it turns into you bleeding on the inside. And that bleeding can cause internal damage. When you're bleeding internally, it causes internal damage. Okay? And I'm talking about in the spiritual realm. When you're hurting like that and you haven't forgive a person or you haven't forgave the situation at hand, it bleeds on the inside. And if you don't get the blood under control, you can die. I'd rather not die hurting. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather die and I done did what I did for God versus die and got unforgiveness and I got this and I got that. All that's a sin. Like, no. You know what I mean? So anyway, I pray that this blesses you. I pray that this encourages you. Thank you for watching. Please like and share the videos, and also definitely check my page out. It's hbdministries.org. hbdministries.org. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.